confidential because you don't understand what this business is about.
Have some integrity. Conduct yourself like a professional. You want to be a professional? How about story?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're going to get out. That Storm is going to be the next rap.
Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans. Super quick edition here. This is Trent, just solo. I'm going quick because it is the pay-per-view go-home show, April 26, 2019, that I wanted to get out here. I know we did a prediction show with our special guest, Whoopsie, but Kyle and I are going to be back to do the pay-per-view review itself. But because we want to stay consistent, guys, go back and listen to us. For the episodic stuff, I wanted to make sure everything is up and we are still keeping up to date with the episodes. So I wanted to quickly break down the go-home episode on April 26, 2019 of Impact Wrestling. So I just want to go through it real quick, and then if you guys listen to this, you can go ahead and listen to the predictions and then the following pay-per-view review show. So just wanted to come in here and touch base with you guys real quick. You know, I'm ordering the pay-per-view. We're going to have a good time watching that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So let's definitely jump right into it, guys. The show opened up with Eli Drake coming out. Basically, we know what's going on with Eli. Sad story. You know, it's kind of sucks that we know what's up with him. But I'm going to get to something in a second that Eli tweeted out. But anyway, we come in. Eli opens up the show. He's talking to Kenny. He's got the microphone on the stick. It's kind of like his own Mikey. I think he's calling it Mikey. So he's doing his own thing. He's mocking Eddie Edwards. Eddie comes out, and they brawl, and Eddie chases him around, and they fight and whatnot, and they chase to the back. We come back from commercial, and they do a wrap-up of how Eddie chased him away and everything, and it was Josh, I believe, who said something like, the last time we saw Eli Drake, he was running off into the night. I'm like, is that the write-off? I wondered at that moment, I'm like, is that the loose write-off? Because this was all taped before the announcement of his release. So did they have to kind of just make the best of the footage they had and work it out to say, hey, this is the write-off? I don't know. It was kind of interesting, man. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I don't know how it goes. But the interesting thing was Eli Drake tweeted out two things on Saturday, day before the pay-per-view. And he says, he put up a picture of a plane ticket from LA to Toronto. Now, anybody who, you know, wrestling fans like we are, we're going to assume everything. But then he put up a video saying he's not taking it. It's like some music video, and basically the caption was something along the lines of like he's not taking it sitting down or something like that. Like he's coming back to dominate or something along those lines. So basically teasing a lot of stuff. I don't know what this means. I truly don't know what any of this means. Is Eli Drake coming back? Is he, was this all a tease? I mean, Eddie is without a match at the pay-per-view, you know, so what happens here? Listen, I wouldn't mind. I don't know if this is one big work, but I wouldn't mind if Eli came back. I called it as a work. This could just be him trolling us too, though, so we don't know. But I'm not gonna be upset if he comes back and shows up on Rebellion at the pay-per-view. So I'll be happy with that, man. Either way, we go from that, guys. Ace Austin and Aiden Prince. Aiden Prince is local to Windsor. I was there for this show, by the way, so I saw how over Aiden Prince was, and the dude is good. I wouldn't mind him in the X division. I would like to see how he talks and stuff. I really haven't seen much of his talking, but apparently he's a big BCW star. He's a Windsor guy. So I know he was over locally, but he was good too, though. I do like what I saw. Ace Austin was getting booed, but again, it could be just because Aiden Prince was local, and Ace Austin kind of healed it up a little bit for that reason. But it was a slow match, but then it picked up towards the kind of third gear of the match. So I guess they were feeling each other out. Maybe first time they fought in the 6-man, or the 5-man scramble, but this was first one-on-one, maybe, who knows. But they definitely picked it up towards the end. I do love that Ace does that paper cut spot with the card. He has Aiden Prince in like an arm bar, and he pulls a Ace card out, and he gives him a paper cut between the between his fingers. I thought that was a really good heel move. I think they're moving Ace Austin into a heel character. I think that's where we're going with this. He is he's almost like a natural heel face in a way. Like his face looks like a heel, so I think it wouldn't be bad to have a nice heelish X Division guy like Ace Austin who can work. So we'll see where they go with it. But Ace takes the win on this one. But then P.D. Williams comes down and saves Aiden Prince from a beatdown, and then Ace escapes. So I wouldn't mind a P.D. and Ace Austin one-on-one, little feud, you know, old veteran versus newcomer kind of thing. Kind of what they're doing with Gail and Tessa. I mean, P.D. definitely needs to be celebrated more for. I mean, he's an original X Division guy. He was there. He was in Impact in 2003, I believe, was his debut. I mean, he's been there a long time. I think they need to celebrate the fact that he's been there and seen it all, even though he left for a little bit in between. But he, the guy's an OG. You know, he's an OG with Impact Wrestling. So I'd like to see it. We go from that, and Taya is attacking Jordan Grace at the gym, and basically, you know, choking her out with a barbell. You know, they brawl. She DDTs her on a weight. It was just cool. I like off-site segments like this. When you show a different scene, it's kind of cool. It's not everything's happening backstage. You know, it's believable when if Taya hates Jordan Grace, she's gonna go attack her at the gym, not just like in catering or a backstage place. So I do appreciate when they do stuff like that. And plus, that was cool. I do like that that they were you know, she was at the gym where she usually always is. If you all follow her on Twitter, she's always at the gym. So we'll see. That match has been getting more hype. They did a GWN vote, what you want to see, you know, match-wise around on the Twitch channel. If you guys watch on Twitch, it was pretty cool. They had Don and Scott being the hosts. I don't know where Melissa Santos was, but I could definitely dig the Golden Bookers being the hosts on this one. That was fun to me. So I am down to get these two as the host. I don't know how regularly that would be, but the fact that they're in there is adds a little more credibility to it. They're the guys in charge, so which is weird because they kind of do this thing where they play up like they're not, and then like who's in charge, who's the boss. It's kind of funny, but they were a riot. They were in Toronto for Rebellion. Basically, they were doing the hype. Gail Kim threw out the first pitch at the Blue Jays game, so they're doing media and whatnot. So the team was all in town, and they used that studio that they did for Behind the Lights with Santino and Alicia too. So they were in that same studio, if you've ever seen it. So that's, I don't know what it is. I think it's a Fight TV studio or something, but part of their network, they were able to get in and cut the Twitch stuff. So that was cool. We go from that, and the Rascalz are walking around the arena, and they got, you know, backstage. They all got notes. And they're all like following some note to meet up somewhere. And they all kind of bump into each other. And they're like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? What's going on? And Zach's like, starts going through his pockets. He has just random stuff in his pockets, like just the most random stuff that he starts pulling out of his pockets. I don't know how he fit so much stuff in like his sweatpants, but he did. But Moose shows up, and it turns out Moose wrote the letter to meet them all up, and he says, you know, he says he brought he's there. He wasn't happy with how he's been treated by them, basically. I mean, Moose, by the way, looks like a G. Like, this dude comes in, Armani suit. I mean, this is money Moose. They are really playing this up very, very well. I love it. He looked like a star. He really looked like a star. Moose has embraced the character. And honestly, I go back to Slamversary last year, and everybody was so bummed that he lost. But that heel turn was the best thing that ever happened to Moose. The amount of character development that came out of it made so much sense, and I don't think anybody is questioning the title decision now after seeing how good he's been at being a heel. I mean, the guy truly is embracing what's been given to him, so good for him. But he says he's brought a few new friends with him, and out come the North, Josh Alexander and Ethan Page, and they beat the shit out of the Rascalz. I gotta say, it's been talked about quite a little bit recently, that Zachary Wentz's selling ability is phenomenal. The way the guy sells is, I was like, man, it's like Ricky Morton level of selling. This dude is really, really making you think he's getting killed out there. So he was selling this beatdown too. So I thought that was cool. But we got basically a match came out of this. We announced it on the Rebellion preview show, but it's going to be the North and Moose taking on the Rascalz. So 3-on-3. This could be a show stealer. This could really be a show stealer. I think these guys really are going to pull it out. They're last minute additions to the pay-per-view, so I think they're out to prove it. The Rascalz always deliver. I never see a moment where the Rascalz don't deliver. So I could see that happening where these guys are really just out to kill it. So we'll see what happens out of that. They do a Cage and Johnny retrospective about the whole history between them. It made the show feel important. It made the match feel important. I loved it. My song "Decay" by my band Hemi played several times during this video package, which is very humbling. Again, they played it a bunch. It kept looping. They also played it a lot throughout the show. I mean, I must have heard it 10 times. Again, very humbling that my band's song is playing on Impact Wrestling. It's a very cool thing. If you guys haven't heard it yet, check out Hemi Music, HEMIMUSIC, Twitter and Instagram. It's on there. The commercial's on our social media. And then the song itself is called Decay. So if you go to YouTube or Spotify or wherever, just type in Hemi Decay, and it'll come right up. You know, it's on all the music streaming platforms. But take a listen to it. That's the official song of the main event, and I'm very grateful to Impact Wrestling for that opportunity. It's been really cool. So we go from that guy. Scarlett hypes Toronto, hypes her appearance about a live smoke show that's going to happen. I don't know what that means, but Rohit Raju tweeted out that he's pissed off that he's not on the show, that Daisy's aren't on the show, and what's going on. She gets some kind of segment, so I have a feeling they're going to interfere in some way. I think the Daisy Hit Squad's going to get involved in something here, and you might see a debut come out of this, or who knows. But we'll see where that goes with Scarlett and the live smoke show. I think it's a talk show segment, so we'll see. But we go from that, guys, to Rosemary taking on one of the Undead Maid of Honor, which I think is Casey Spinelli. I think it's still her. She's been the Undead Maid of Honor. She announced a retirement a while ago, but I don't know if she actually stuck. I can't really tell if this is her. But quick match. She wins it. She takes the Undead Maid of Honor hostage. It's just a great build for the feud. My prediction was that Rosemary and Sue gets added to tonight last minute. I haven't seen anything yet. So in my Rebellion prediction show I did, it's on the YouTube channel, on the Impact Lounge, and our feeds, I mentioned this might get added. Maybe it gets added impromptu because there's not too many matches on tonight. But then again, that means every match is going to get a lot of time. So we'll see where they go with that. Good build for the feud either way. Rosemary and Sue are a long-time feud, and you need long-time feuds like that in wrestling. So definitely not opposed to building more and more on these kinds of things. We go from that, guys, to Rich Swann is at the OVE compound, and you got the Chris brothers outside, and they're like, Sammy's not in there, and he's like, whatever. He goes up to the door, and he's pounding on it, and Rich is going through a retrospective. You know, he's going through this retrospective moment. He's thinking about their history. It's almost emotional, and in between bursts of anger and frustration. I mean, he's basically what they're showing is Sammy has gotten into Rich's head, and Rich cannot distinguish family versus enemy at this point, and he's in a dilemma. It's a true dilemma that Rich is in right now. So I think they're gonna play up the psychological aspect a lot when it comes to this one. So I imagine a lot of story even in the match, storytelling. Sammy's a great storyteller too. Rich is more of a performer, but he has shown his acting chops. Like that compound segment was really good, and it's not getting enough credit. But Rich has never been known to do any kind of acting like that, so that was really impressive that he did that. But he leaves it with a pounding on the door and just says, "See you Sunday." And then after he walks away, Sammy opens the door with the beer and looks out and goes back in. So basically, Sammy heard everything. It was brilliant. I think it was so well done. I loved it. We go from that, guys, to Johnny Impact and Johnny Bravo at the Lucha Brothers, and they talk about their match coming up. The Luchas just don't trust Johnny. It's it's their typical, like, we don't like you, but we have to do this kind of thing. Just hyping up the match later on. Next match here is Killer Kross and Willie Mack, and I said this earlier. Kross feels special by not wrestling as much. And I know that might sound weird because people want to see him more, but we do see him in backstage segments every week. But I think it feels special that he doesn't wrestle every week. And it's like when he does, it's an event. And it really felt like that to me. I was like, man, you don't really see him work that much, but when he does, it's awesome. Great match. I think they both looked really strong. Willie Mack is so underrated as a performer that he needs more credit. And matches like this bring him out. I think he's great, and he's been doing better with his acting too. Backstage stuff, I think he's great. But he's so dynamic for his size and what he does. I'm very impressed with Willie Mack. The guy wins me over more and more every week. Cross wins with a choke, and he tweeted out later. He said, "Where was Rich Swann during all this?" So now Cross is playing mind games through this side of Willie and Rich. I don't know where they're going. There's a lot going on circling Willie and Rich, and then Cross is related with the Sammy thing. It's like I don't know what's going on with all this. So it'd be very interesting to see how they play all this up and how they tie it in after tonight. The Deaners making their debut against Halal Beefcake. I was there again. I saw it. It was really fun. These guys are just fun. It's a fun moment. I mean, we lost KM and Follow, so we don't have that fun team. And now here we got the fun team. The Deaners are great. Jake Something's a buddy of mine, and I'm so proud of him he looked great in his TV debut. The training montages have been awesome. It looked great. The people love him, even if some of the crowd shots, people early on in the show, people didn't really know who they were. By the end of it, people were popping, and I was really proud of that. So that was cool to see everybody really into them. What was funny during this commentary was Josh. Don asked Josh, "Hey, what does halal mean?" And and then Josh says, "I think it's some kind of food." And Don seemed to know though. Don seemed to know what it was. It's like, I think it's a food that's been blessed. So he's right. Josh, again, man, this area of the world to Josh Matthews, we got to really, come on, we need a boot camp here. Desi, halal, we got to work this in, Josh. We got to do something about this. Definitely come see me or go see the Desi Hit Squad about this. I mean, somebody's got to give you some insight on that part of the world. And I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. If you need the brown guy to do it, I'm willing to do it. Great debut. Deaners win this one. Fun debut. Halal Beefcake, by the way, is Idris Abraham, has been on Impact before, years back. He's the guy with the big fro, the big afro, and he's fun. He's fun to watch. And then Joe Coleman, who I've never heard of before, but they're a regular tag team up in Canada. So from there, we go to Johnny and Taya hyping up and kind of talking shit on the crowd, about the matches coming up. Basically, they call out Lance Storm and their connection to Lance Storm and how he's going to be on their side. So basically, they're playing up that, like Johnny said, Lance trained me in OVW. Ty said he was my trainer, and they're basically saying, like, we got this in the bag. Lance is the referee. Like, we're set. Lance comes out and teaches them some lessons. He even threw in his line. He goes, "If I could be serious for a minute," he threw that in. The crowd popped. I popped. It was awesome to hear that. Taya slaps him, and then it kind of thing breaks loose. He super kicks Johnny. Johnny tries to attack him. I mean, melee, full melee, and it was good. So we went to a break after that. Scott and Don are kind of hyping up what we're going to see right now in the main event. And what was great was Scott doing Don West impersonations. If you guys haven't seen this, we need to find a way to get this. I hope it's online somewhere. But Scott D'Amore doing Don West impersonations was phenomenal. Phenomenal. It is a classic bit of TV. I hope that gets put somewhere. We go to the main event after this, guys. We're going to the end here. This is the final wrap-up main event. Johnny and the Lucha Brothers taking on Cage and LAX. Josh was so hyped during this match. I loved his commentary during this. His commentary was probably the best I've ever heard it during this match. When Josh is hyped himself for a match, legitimately hyped, the guy's unstoppable. And I think he's a great commentator when he is truly hyped himself. I mean, matches like this, these are all-star showcases. Matches like this are fun. I mean, you can't help but get hyped. So he was really into the fact that it was Johnny and Lucha taking on Cage and LAX. So Cage came out last, and he looked like such a star. I tweeted a bunch of my friends, and I said, man, Cage looks like a total star. The way he walked out, the way his music hit. His music is so cool. The way it hits, and he hits that ramp. I'm like, this guy looks like $1 million. I mean, he is exactly who you want for your champion. Hands down. I think the guy he has it. He has what you need. So I was super, super impressed with that. It was an incredible dream match. I mean, look who you have. You have LAX and Cage, the Lucha Brothers, and Johnny. It's an all-star lineup. And the crowd went insane for this one. I mean, I was there, again, I was there live, and this was just, I remember people who were sitting behind me, there were a couple of fathers who you could tell they just brought their kids, and they didn't really know much about it, but when they saw Cage and they saw what was going on, they were blown away too. This match is one of those matches where you can't help but watch, wrestling fan or not, you watch. It catches you, but match is nuts. There's moves every which way. I say definitely go out of your way to watch this one. It's one of the best matches in Impact TV history, I think. It really is one of the best main events. Go out of your way to watch this one. It really had everything. At the end, Cage pinned Johnny. Foreshadowing for what we're going to see at Rebellion? I hope so. I think Cage is ready. It's time. So this was it. A lot of things working against him, but Cage got that pin. I just hope that this isn't that a case where that's the only pin he gets this weekend. So I hope that's a sign of things to come. Cage takes it. We'll see what happens, man. But that's the Go Home show. That's April 26, 2019 at Impact Wrestling. Be sure to check out the Rebellion preview and prediction show that we did. I did it with one of our listeners, Whoopsie, who's been a listener for a long time. Whoopsie joined me. I definitely want to get more listeners on. Kyle and I definitely want to do that more with you guys. So we'll find ways to do it. I'm still going to do that Twitch idea, and I want to bring a listener on to do those Twitch specials with me. So let's kick that off in the next few weeks or so. We'll go back and start doing those Twitch specials. But guys, that's it. Don't forget, order Rebellion. It is on Fight TV and traditional pay-per-view. I think it's $39.99 US. You can even get a fight code, I think, for a few bucks off. So take a look at their website or Impact's website and check it out. We're gonna do a full review. Kyle and I, we're gonna break this whole thing down once it's done. We hope that the matches and the results are favorable. We're looking forward to a good time event here. So let's definitely have a good pay-per-view. Let's have fun. And if there's leave your feedback. I mean, I know this is a short notice. A lot of guys, I know, Kyle was like, hey man, we got a lot going on this weekend with all the shows, but I wanted to get this out because I know some people go back and get caught up with us. So feel free to leave feedback on this one. Treat this like an episode. If you're watching, leave me your feedback. Let me know what you think. Again, it's a quick one, man. This is just a quick 20 minutes. We're just wrapping things up. I just want to make sure that some opinions are in and the results are up. So let me know, guys. I will be back with Kyle. Total Nonstop Impact. We'll be reviewing Rebellion. If you guys have your own predictions and stuff, leave them in the comments here. Let me know what you're thinking tonight, and we'll get to them as we do the next show. But all right, guys, thanks a lot for joining me. I appreciate this quick episode. We'll see you after Rebellion. Later.